Bivol's the #1 on my hit list, you know. Bivol he's a great competitor, great champion, but I'm a great champion too. I just want to test myself every single fight. I've seen Canelo in the building. Hey, let me just ask the fans this. Do you guys want to see Canelo versus David Benavidez? Enough said. Enough said. That means that we can't leave that fight on the table. You know what I mean? Whatever. I have respect for Canelo. He's a great champion, but I'm a great champion too. Let's do it.
What he's saying that he wants to fight me and Better Beef, it means that he's a great fighter. He's confident and he wanna achieve more and more. It's good, and what I could tell.
Do you remember the sparring with David?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we had a couple of sparrings. I remember it was some of good moments from my side, some good moments from his side. But you know, it's sparring. Sparring, it's sparring.
Our Mike Coppinger, our very own Mike Coppinger, is reporting that His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh wants to make David Benavidez not versus Opetaya, not to go down and fight one of the light heavies, but Alexander Usyk for the heavyweight championship in 2027.
I don't know how much more Usyk's gonna fight.
I agree.
But give me 2 more fights, 2 or 3 more fights.
Let him be undisputed at cruiserweight. Pick up 2 more belts there.
2 more fights, and then go to heavyweight and fucking Benavidez beats Usyk.
After dismantling Zero Ramirez, David Ben starts chasing bigger names, but Dmitry Bivol finally breaks his silence on the explosive call-out and shifts the entire conversation.
Would you like to be undisputed once again by the end of the year?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah, this is one of the options. Also, there is Benavidez, there is Better Beef still, and also I'm open for cruiserweight. Why not? Yeah, I would like to get a chance to fight for another belt also in another weight class.
On one side, Val says he is open to fighting Benz, while on the other side, Benz claims there is no real commitment or serious assurance coming from Val.
No, I haven't been assured anything, and like I said, but it doesn't really bother me. The good thing about me is I got time on my side. I'm 28 years old, so I still have a long time. You know, if anything, these guys, they're kind of getting out of their prime, so I'm barely stepping into my prime. If it doesn't happen now, it'll definitely happen later.
Taking direct shots at Canelo, Benz insists Crawford only outclassed him, but promises he would deliver an even more brutal beating that Canelo would never forget.
I've been saying for a long time that I'd go in there and give Canelo the hardest fight of his career. And he would definitely remember me. You know, I think what Terence Crawford's boxing more carefully. It's not like he put a beating on him, you know, he just basically outclassed him. But for me, he would definitely feel me, and he'd definitely remember me for the rest of his life.
Reflecting on Val, Benz talks about sparring him and hurting him in the 4th round while insisting he already knows his weaknesses, just like Ramirez got exposed after sparring.
The last time I sparred him, I hurt him bad in the 4th round. But he's a great fighter. I don't take nothing away from him. The last time I sparred him, I was 22 years old. So that was about like 6 years ago. But I remember that, you know, there are some opportunities I could take it back.
Responding to this, Val says it was nothing more than good sparring, while claiming he was only testing Benz, and insists the stories about getting hurt are completely false.
You know, spar, it's very different than a fight. I have a lot of sparrings when I wasn't good, when I was good. I'm not seeing on the sparrings it's like on the fight. I'm checking, I'm just trying to do something, you know. I just have some mission for one sparring and I try to do it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But with Benavidez it was good sparrings. I can't say that something was not good. Now it's Canelo, he has belts, of course he's the best in 168. They need to prove it, they need to earn belts, then we will say. We have rules. You have belts, you are belts.
Regardless of what really happened during sparring, the potential fight gets a brutal reaction from Tapamo Lopez, who believes Val would be an extremely dangerous and difficult matchup for Benz.
It hits different, and I feel like with Bivol, I think he's the only one that'll possibly give David Benavidez a little bit of run for his money.
Who do you like in the fight?
Moving all that?
Because of the movement, I think that Benavidez really capitalizes when you're right there with him. Yeah. And I think Bivol doesn't give you that kind of momentum. So
I think it's going to be a high-volume fight if it happens. Bivol throws a lot of punches. Benavidez throws a lot of punches.
So many options.
Yeah, I think that is a great fight.
So I'm really with Devin on this, Shady, because I think that if you go back down and you have to drain yourself to get to the weight, and you're fighting a guy as good as Bivol who's not going to be there for you to hit, that's a bad matchup for.
Adding even more fuel to the fire, Max Kellerman suggests that instead of moving down in weight, Benz should go after Artur Better Biv, calling it the perfect fight for him.
A fight I'd rather see than him and Bivol, okay? And maybe even him and Opataya. It could be a catch weight, because I agree, I don't want to see him move down. Better Biev!
That's a good fight, too.
Benavidez and Better Biev is the best action fight you could even think of. That fight might be too brutal to make. That might be like, that fight is too dangerous to make. They're both too dangerous.
Yeah, Arthur,
oh my
play
God.
With Arthur, none to play. But either him or Bivol. Like, they would take them two before he fights Ja, correct?
I don't know, man. I'm with Devin, man. You're already at cruiserweight.
I mean, I'm telling you, I think it would take a lot out of him trying to cut that weight back down.
As the conversation keeps exploding, Max shares a shocking report from Mike Kaur claiming His Excellency Turki Alshik is not targeting Benz versus Better Biv or even Canelo, because the real plan is reportedly a massive blockbuster showdown between Alexander Usyk and David Benz for the heavyweight championship in 2027, adding an entirely new layer to the chaos as a fighter chasing names like Canelo Bivol. Better Biv and Gio Paya could now end up facing one of the greatest heavyweights of this.
Mike Coppinger, our very own Mike Coppinger, is reporting that His Excellency Turki Alshik wants to make David Benavidez not versus Opataya, not to go down and fight one of the light heavies, but Alexander Usyk for the heavyweight championship in 2027. Turki Alshik is, of course, right. Like when he was tweeting out after Moses Atama had a blowout win, he was tweeting out, hey, him and Usyk, oh, it's too soon. Everyone stop. Of course, that's what you're really thinking.
Now this completely changes the entire situation, and fans are desperate to see a matchup where elite skill collides with elite skill at the absolute highest level, as Devin Haney shares his thoughts, suggesting Benz is a naturally powerful fighter, while Yuck has spent his entire career battling giants and relying more on pure skill than raw strength, and Haney believes a fight between them would give boxing fans a true spectacle, while finally revealing where Benz really stands against a man who already conquered the heavyweight division.
After that performance by Benavidez, should Benavidez, beat Opataya, or even if he just moves up to heavyweight, Usyk is beating these giants, these behemoths, where he can see the punches coming, where he has a speed advantage.
And he's always faster.
He's always faster. What about a dude like this?
I think that it's a good fight because Usyk is not a big heavyweight.
Nope.
He's a guy who's at cruiserweight who went up to heavyweight. He's not the biggest. He's not beating guys, by just overpowering them. He's beating them by skill. Right. So I think that this is a great fight because it's skill versus skill, and with David would be his more natural.
After a career-defining stoppage, David Benz now sees his entire future wide open, with the biggest question becoming whether he moves down or stays at cruiserweight. And after a stunning performance, he has completely silenced countless critics, answering the doubts raised by experts like Andre Ward about whether moving up would create serious problems for him, because the Mexican monster has now proven his point inside the ring, and Benz also makes it clear he would prefer moving back down, while insisting Dmitry Bivol remains his #1 target.
Back down, or you don't know yet?
No, I'm going back down because honestly, at the end of the day, what I want for myself is, nobody pushes me to do anything. Every fight that I've got for the past 5 fights, I've called myself. I want Bivol. I want Better Beef. I want the hard fights that I'm gonna have to go deep inside myself and bring the best out of me. Like I've always said, in boxing, you have to put yourself in a position of stress to get the best version of yourself. And that means going up against the best of the best. And I definitely do want to show what my spirit is made of. And I want to show everybody that with belief in yourself, you could accomplish it.
The boxing community is now praising Benz as the true Mexican monster, while journalist Sean Zittel compares this matchup to legendary clashes involving Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather Jr., and also sets the record straight by reporting that no fighter had officially stopped Zurdo Ramirez with that kind of brutal 6th-round power, making Benz look even more dangerous during his violent rise through the division.
Late stoppage by an accumulation of punches. Nobody on the record that I know of had him knocking out, not stopping TKO, but knocking out Zurdo Ramirez for a 10 count in the 6th round with that kind of, cackling display of power and speed like that. And that is the best performance of David Benavidez' career. And look, Floyd Mayweather, when he beat Arturo Gatti, was a heavy favorite. Arturo Gatti, kind of like Zurdo Ramirez, although obviously a much more beloved and exciting fighter and a bigger name.
Despite Zittel comparing the fight to Mayweather against Gatti after watching Benz destroy Ramirez, Benz himself made it clear during his post-fight press conference that his real idol has always been Manny Pacquiao and that he is following the same path, while saying the motivation and inspiration he receives from Pacquiao continues fueling his mission to become the new face of boxing, and Benz also gives full respect to his idol while setting an example for the next generation to honor the legends who paved the way.
I want to follow in the footsteps of my idol, Manny Pacquiao. You know, funny enough, me and Manny Pacquiao have the same birthday, so I feel like we have the same fire and the same flame. And, you know, I just want to give these types of exciting fights, because when I was a little kid, this is what always excited me. You know, these types of fights, watching these, you know, these crazy knockouts, these crazy stoppages. And I think for me to be able to do this is, you know, I'm able to motivate the younger generation, just like how the old generation would motivate me.
And then comes a shocking revelation from Ben's longtime promoter Samson Lukovic, who explains why the Canelo fight never became reality, as he recalls receiving a call from Canelo trainer Eddie Reynoso, who openly admitted fault for the fight falling apart, and according to Samson there was even a suggestion for sparring between them, but he immediately warned against it, believing the session could end with Canelo getting knocked out, which only adds even more tension and mystery to a fight that
I have a call from Eddie Reynoso, and I want to say public that it's my fault because Canelo never fought David Benavidez. He called me up, he said, I need a sparring. Can I have David Benavidez? I tell him no, because he will knock out Canelo. So don't take it. Listen to me, you're my friend.
In the middle of all the chaos stands Canelo, who created even more controversy after skipping the Cinco de Mayo main event and getting heavily booed by fans who accused him of avoiding the spotlight out of fear, while Jose Benz Sr. refused to hold back, blasting Canelo and claiming he is deliberately staying away because he fully understands the danger that comes with stepping into the ring against Benz, and the criticism only throws even more gasoline onto an already explosive rivalry.
Not the same no more. He's tired. Our reflexes are not good. You know, the feet is not good no more. His power's not there anymore. I think he's going to struggle with them, Billy, you know. At the end of the day, man, I just want to talk about David Benavidez, to be honest, the Mexican monster. You know.
Making massive claims, Tim Bradley takes direct aim at Canelo while accusing him of avoiding a brutal showdown with Benz and questioning whether he is truly willing to face real danger, as Bradley insists this is no longer just outside criticism because even loyal fans are starting to notice, and he believes the longer the fight keeps getting delayed the harder it becomes to defend Canelo's position, while also claiming that stepping into the ring with Benz is now the only way to silence the growing doubts surrounding his legacy.